I think as a younger dancer, I thought that performing was supposed to be all about inspiration in the moment. And the more I've gone on as a professional performer, I've realized the importance of being prepared and being rehearsed. So I'm concentrating when I'm dancing, but you know, when things are going really well, it's definitely a huge buzz. It's a big high. And a friend of mine have a joke that you might spend 60 hours preparing or rehearsing or creating something in order to have 16 seconds of bliss on the B part of the second time through the tune, something like that. So performance moments are fleeting, and even video doesn't really do them justice, especially in terms of how you, the performer, feel. But there's also a lot of mental preparation and concentration that goes into it. I really enjoy teaching adults, and I really enjoy teaching people who come to me saying, I've always wanted to do Irish dancing since I was a little kid, or people who say, I did Irish dancing as a little kid for 2 or 3 years, and now I want to get back into it for the fun of doing it, for the experience of moving to that music. The music is really joyful, and people want to be able to engage in that somehow with their body, hands, feet. So Sean-nós dancing in particular lets you learn a few basic steps and then engage and be part of that music. Now, if you want to advance at it and get some really intricate movements, you do have to practice. And a lot of times adults find it hard to practice and fit that into their lives, but practice can be fun if you just surround yourself with the right music that excites you, and if you find a community of dancers and musicians who want to share in this activity. I do prepare my classes, but I improvise teaching a lot. And I try to just tune into what's happening in the room, the energy and the needs of the people. You really get a group dynamic, a different group dynamic from every group. So maybe a group is sluggish one day, or maybe another group is really punchy and full of humor and adventure. So I like that sense of being on the spot and having to speak and change your plan based on what the students need. Students always ask really interesting questions. They analyze the steps in ways that you may have never thought about, so it forces you to really get inside the material that you're teaching it, and you end up knowing it a lot better after you've taught it. One of the things that's really interesting about Irish dancing is that it's not just one thing. So there is a social dance tradition and a performance tradition and an informal improvised tradition, Sean-nós dancing. So there are trends. Set dancing and Sean-nós dancing are enormously popular right now. A decade ago, step dancing in the style of river dance was hugely popular and became famous on the world scale. So I think that Irish dance will continue to evolve and will continue to wax and wane in terms of its appeal to people and its popularity. It's going to stay important to people who have an Irish background, Irish diaspora, but clearly it's important to people all over the world, people of different cultures and ethnicities. I think that set dancing is going to stay popular for a while, and Sean-nós dancing is going to continue to grow in popularity. It's very accessible, it's very fun. You can do it in your jeans. Thank you for joining us for Musical Feet. Sean-nós means old style in the Irish language. Sean-nós step dancing is characterized by rhythmic steps danced low or close to the floor and usually in a small amount of space. Sean-nós dance is musical. The steps provide percussive accompaniment to the music. In this video series, I'll be teaching you some basic movements and rhythm patterns that you can use to create your own individual Sean-nós dance. Sean-nós dance is musical. The steps provide percussive accompaniment to the music. But beyond that, the dancer engages in a dialogue with the music. listening to, reacting to, and responding to the tune in the here and now, moment by moment. This gallop step is one that I really have fun with. It's one I really like to do, and in fact, I like to hang out and stay with that step for a long time. So I call this getting stuck, or hanging out, or jamming. Just think of it as playing a continuous rhythm over and over again with your feet. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to stay with the gallop step on one foot, and the only change I'm going to add is to go from out to in. So we're going to rotate the leg out and then bring it back in, and just keep that same rhythm going on one side. Sean-nós dance is usually performed as a solo form without a partner. So I like to say that the music is your partner in this style of dance.